Oh, hi again. What now?
You want something, that's all.
Oh, okay. Don't forget your mate.
Just for a case, that's all.
Where's that? Doesn't matter. Another good reason to ask this actually is because you might be able to find episodes of it online and then stuff to watch. Not that there's ever really a shortage. It's always suggesting things or I'm looking up things, but I'm just waiting for people to tune in. It's just occurring to me, but give me a moment or two, because while I'm waiting for people to tune in, I'll try and think of what I would say mine are, because I didn't do that beforehand. But again, somebody could tune in and mention one, and we could get to talking about it, and it all work out. Um, there was a bit of connectivity with the issues with the previous one I did, um, which doesn't usually happen on this device, especially when I'm down here. But so far it's looking okay, so that's good. Hmm. I mean, truth told, I have had cable for a few years, but I used to for most of my life, and I know about a lot of shows. So it's not like I'm completely under a rock and won't know the shows you mentioned. And I like a fair variety. Um, I guess I didn't specify genres, and I don't know, because people that see this don't know me, might be worth kind of getting it out of the way right away and saying, you're not going to find a fellow fan of like crime shows or um, I don't want to say I don't like westerns. I used to watch them a lot more when I was younger. My dad was quite into them because he worked with horses. Welcome. Like Bonanza was a pretty popular one. The Beverly Hillbillies. Um, I still remember when I learned that. When I learned that the granny in that was actually in her 20s or 30s, made to look older. I don't know why they couldn't have just found a 60 to 70-ish year old person to play the part, but it is what it is. Yeah, I'm not talking about the rest. I can say that. Um, but other than that, I mean, I don't know many of the kind of newer cartoons, because I not having had cable and that. Um, I don't. I know a lot of sitcoms, um, but I'm thinking it's easier to think of movie genres or book genres than it is of TV. So, um, yeah, I'm kind of. Hope somebody gets this in there because I'm kind of holding my bladder and I want to get a conversation started that I can go and address that, which I did before I started, but and then it was about 15 minutes later that I started doing this, but sometimes it's just that way. Um, but yeah, so I've got two topics here with this video. Just started rolling it. As you can see, favorite TV shows. I just kind of said the only genre I'm not really into, which is crime shows. I can't, in the person left, like, oh, that's the kind I'm into. I can't really think of others that I'm not, so I'm going to say most of them I am. Um, and then the other topic, which may or may not relate to that topic, is what have been your favorite jobs that you've had in your life, which you might be working currently, or what you. I'll add to that, and it's weird. I feel like I probably have mentioned this in past videos, but yet I also kind of feel like I haven't. The other thing could be, what is your dream job? Um, yeah. So, yep. So, I'd be happy to sit and chat with you here on either of those two topics. Um, and yeah, I added to the second topic. Okay, yeah, I was gonna reiterate what I just said, but I literally did just say it too. But I thought nobody was here when I said it, so um, come on. I know a lot of people watch TV. They watch TV right now and not knowing that this is rolling, or they could be talking about the show that they're watching and being interactive about it. Um, I also wish that, well, I'm doing this on the device I have available to me right now. If it was the computer, I'd add a little note that I might very, very briefly have to um, go off screen and do something that's really quite distracting me, including go upstairs and plug in my other device, um, and one other small thing. But I want to get a bit of a conversation going first. Like I say, favorite shows and the favorite jobs you've had, which may or may not relate in some way to the show. And if you haven't had a lot of jobs, maybe what would your dream job be? I also want to take a moment, as we haven't been rolling very long, but to welcome the two people that are tuned in at the top. Curious if you've ever been to the channel before, and if not, how you came across it today. It might not be night where you're at, but got one of you now. But yeah, I've got the chat turned on, I believe. Yep. So, and yeah, I know lots of people like to talk about their favorite TV shows, I'm sure, but it wasn't either of them. That's weird. I find that quite odd. Hmm. And it seems like it's better this time around than this device recording the previous one, which was short. And I mean, so I kind of, in a way, tried to bring that topic into this one. Um, I'm just wondering. Yeah. You know, because I'd hate to go off camera when there's somebody. I'm just thinking, that room that I'm hardly ever in. Is there an interesting view of anything in there that maybe I could lean this, looking at it while I'm doing my other thing quickly, and then hopefully not come downstairs and forget you and the device upstairs. This way I can stay on camera as I'm going up. I'll bring your light on up there. Connection up here? Or maybe not. Just draw it for a moment. Okay, and then that's going to start up. So I'm not in this room a lot. I was in it earlier today because I was looking at some DVDs. And it's definitely not a room I podcast in very much. So I'm just wondering if there's anything that yeah, he's got his music kind of loud, so I don't know if it'd be recognized. If it was, it would just probably mute it or demonetize, make this not a monetized video, but it doesn't have to be. Most of them are, because if somebody wants to donate and send me money, I'm not going to tell them not to. You know, if they like the messages I'm putting into things and the effort or the music, you know, who am I to say no? Um, So, Anita pulling thread. That's a song reference. If you didn't, is it interesting in it? I don't know. Just looking around this room because I do have to plug in my other device and take a couple of quick minutes doing something in a moment here, and I want you to have a nice view while I do so. But you can also be working on your comments, like I say, based on your favorite TV shows or your favorite. Um, and that's a lot of those. And that's a lot of books I never read and probably wouldn't. And that is not much of anything. What does this look like, out of curiosity? Not much. I'm just going to put it here for, well. So yeah, and like I say, if you haven't had a lot of jobs as far as that topic out of the two, but you have a dream job you'd like to talk about, I'd love to talk about it with you. And yeah. But you have to stay and comment first. It's one of those videos. The retention is not the greatest for some reason, and it's not reaching the right people, I guess, or the people that are deciding too quickly whether this is something they'd want to watch or not. But you know what? What can we do about it? Not a whole lot, right? Can't hold them here and say, sit down, shut up, listen, and you will not regret it. You know, people have their free will as far as that goes, right? Well, I don't really want to. That's the thing, is I don't really want to have it facing the